I've actually got a funny little story for one of your segments. What's grinding my gears?
Oh, mate, we'll get into it early. What's grinding your
Let's
gears,
just
Coppo?
get this out of the way.
Yeah, right.
Just spent the weekend down in Burleigh and got there Friday arvo. I was like, I'll pull up to Woolies, get a few essentials, a few bottles of wine. And,
a few bottles of wine.
Yeah, a few bottles of red, you know. But no, I pulled up at the Woolies and I probably parked. It was busy. Parked like 100 metres away. And before I walk in, I just go, fuck, where's my mask? And it's just been grinding me all week, like, just forget my mask, like, go out, forget it, forget it. But, so I ran back to my car, grabbed my mask, and I've gone in, done my shopping, got what I needed to get. As I'm coming out, this guy's walking towards me. I noticed he didn't have a mask on. He's pulled up and he's looked at me. He's done the full double pocket check. Like,
Oh, shit. Double pocket check.
He's checking both pockets. He's looking around. He goes, fuck. And he just turned around, chucked a stink, just walks right back to the car. I go, mate, I know how you feel, It's just grinding my gears. Like, I get why we're wearing the mask, but just how forgetful I am with it, it's just grinding me, eh?
And the old, eye rollers, they go, fuck.
Yeah, he pulled in the double pocket check. He's looking around and just goes, fuck.
Oh, I love when there's a bit of a ear bite. We got the news on in the background. It's Channel 9 news, and there's a bit of an ear bite in the boxing at the Olympics. Maybe a bit of a love.
Yeah, Mike Tyson.
Yeah, a bit of a kiss. Yeah, the amount of times I've fucking gone to walk in the shopping centre and forgot, but it's funny. I was like, you talk about the old double pocket check. You got to do the old front and back too.
Yeah.
Quadruple.
If you check in the back, you're in trouble, but hey, if you're taking the effort to reach around to the back, you're in trouble.
Bloody oath. The thing that's been grinding my gears, and I've probably vented to you about it a few times over Snapchat, but in the mornings I've been going to the gym before work, mate, and I tell you what, there's this one chick, and I don't know what it is. Like, I understand why people do it, but she always works out barefoot. And, I just think that's the most unhygienic, gross thing.
Is she wearing socks?
Nah, no socks.
Yeah, okay.
So, in the gym, when people, I understand when people are doing, squats or deadlifts and they want to go, barefoot and, be all natural and whatnot. But when you're doing it, when you're going from, doing squats, because she was going from, squats to fucking bench press, go figure. And then she went and got on the old assault bike, and she still was barefooting it. And I'm like, mate, hopefully, I'm thinking she's probably going to get, tinea or athlete's foot or whatnot.
Does she sanitize her feet as she walks in?
She fucking should, mate.
Does she?
I'm going to walk past one day and just pull down my mask and just go, something stinks like feet. And then turn around and just be like, oh, it's you.
So, what gym are you going to? Do you go on Maroochydore now?
Yeah, so I've been a Snap Fitness member since I bloody moved to Brizzy for uni, I think. And then, because there was one just up the road from my crib in Camp Hill. And then when I moved to Townsville, there was one out in Kerwin, out in the hood. And also one in the city as well. But I was fucking so slack with gym in Townsville. Probably let myself go if I'm honest. And then I got down here and I was like, oh, well, I'm no longer playing footy since I moved because I don't have a club. And then I was like, well, I better get back in the gym. So before work, I've just been going to gym, getting up at 5:36, just chilling for a bit, then leaving here about 6:30. Get up to Maroochydore about just on 7, and then I usually work out from about 7 till about 8:20, have a shower, and then my work's just up the street from the gym. It's probably a 2-minute walk. So
yeah,
it's a fucking good spot, and it's handy being a Snap Fitness member because you can just go to any of them across the state, and it's not that expensive. I've heard of the prices people are paying to go to your CrossFits and whatnot, $50 a week at some places. Yeah, I get it. You get to go and do your unlimited sessions and whatnot, but I think I'm only paying $33, $34 a fortnight.
Oh yeah, that's good.
20,
especially on the sunny coast. I was when I was full time at a gym. I think I was paying 21 or 22. Yeah. But I get a FIFO discount now, so I pay half. But pretty good. But
yeah. Never those go. Pies and sausage rolls.
Never go, eh?
Yeah. The other thing I like about Snap too is just 24 hours. So I think they're all 24 hours. I've got the old scan and swipe card, but not that I ever go fucking past 9 at night or in the early hours of the morning. But yeah, it's just a handy little perk to have. It's got everything you need. It's quite a big gym. But yeah, I was thinking about getting rid of it and signing up somewhere new, but then I saw how close it was to work, and I was just like, oh, it's a no-brainer. Stick with them. So
Yeah. And that's I reckon it's hard to find good gyms sometimes. Like I reckon when you find like a good one, it's good to keep going. Like if it's convenient for like work and like close to home or stuff like that, you tend to go more. Like if it's out of the way, you sort of lose motivation to go. But
oh yeah, well, the good thing is there's also one in Caloundra. Oh, excuse me. Reece and I are on the beers for anyone who's not watching this and listening. If there's a few burps here or there or tins cracking, you'll understand why. As we're talking about our gym. But yeah, so are you still hitting the gym as well outside of boxing, or just sort of?
Nah, not really.
Stuff?
Just boxing. I'd like to try split it like 50-50 or even just do weights a few times a week, but sort of lose motivation, like trying to train once a day, but lose motivation to do weights. But
yeah, it's gonna be hard, eh? I've really enjoyed going in the mornings though. Like people always say, oh yeah, work out in the mornings, it's just a good way to start off your day, and you're like, yeah, whatever, dickhead.
Yeah,
then you actually do it and you're like, oh fuck, I feel good.
Yeah, I was never a fan of it, but I train mornings now and I go, fuck, it's way better. Like at least you know if you do fuck all for the rest of the day, at least you've like accomplished that for the day. So that's the way I think about it. If you get it out early, then you can go do something else. And if you miss, like, you don't go again, or you have a shit day, at least you know you've done that. But
yeah, that's it. And like, many times you get to the end of the working day and you're like, I'm rooted, like, let's go home. Whereas if like you had to then go to gym, you're probably more likely to be like, nah, fuck it. But then the same can be said for when you wake up, because I've woken up here in the mornings, like freezing, in this, old house, so it gets a bit colder in here. But yeah, coming from Townsville to this in the middle of winter, I struggle a bit in the early mornings. But
how are you enjoying the move, mate? You happy you're on the sunny coast now? Or?
Oh yeah, mate, I am. I haven't. It's probably the last podcast I did was in Townsville, so the old listeners probably haven't been updated with my life movements and why it's been so long for me to fucking do another podcast since the last step. But yeah, for anyone who's listening out there, old Keano's made the move to the sunny coast with the ABC office down here. So sad to say goodbye to the family, like mum and dad and Cohen up there, but really happy to be back in the southeast. Fucking what a prime spot to land in the sunny coast. So
yeah, you definitely got a good spot here too, eh? Literally 50 meters off the beach. Like
yeah, I'm very fortunate to have good mates like Tyron. So Tyron Runman, who's been on the podcast before, I think he might have been episode 16 or so. So his grandparents own the house I'm in at the moment, and yeah, it's like a big block in Golden Beach. There's 2 houses on the block, and they just use them as holiday homes for the extended family. So Ty asked if I could stay in one of these for the remainder of the year and while I'm working here, and they were all good with that. So fucking stoked, because prime location, it's fucking so hard to get rentals in sunny coast.
Especially renting on the sunny coast, like after moving out of the place I was just in and then jumping on and having a look at other places, like they're all so expensive for what they are. And even then, like, you already know there's 500 other people applying for the same place. So yeah, I think it's hard. Like,
it's like, I don't know how they sift through and decide who's going to like become the successful applicant. Because like, if you got to sift through 500 applications, like, fuck.
I reckon they're checking one thing only, and that's your bank balance or your bank statements. Like, I reckon if they're comfortable with you being able to pay week in, week out, you're probably in a good spot to land the place. But
the other disadvantage too, like, I've seen a few families get sort of not kicked out, but kicked out of their rentals, and then it's like the reasoning is because the owners wanted to sell the house, or they wanted to re-advertise and get someone to come in and pay a higher rent because the market's booming. It's actually fun. I did a story yesterday. There's some new data released, and they reckon that the median price, so which is also like the same as its average price, but so yeah, like the average price of rent across the sunny coast at the moment is $620 a week, and that rivals Sydney rentals. Like so city rentals the average in Sydney at the moment is $653 a week. Wow. And that's the same for like the inner south, they said. And then I think the outer parts of Greater Sydney, the average rent's like $550 a week, I think. So it's cheaper to live close to Sydney than it is to live here at the moment in terms of rent.
Yeah.
Which is fucking crazy. And then
I think it's just everyone trying to get to Queensland too. Like, we've probably been one of the luckiest states with COVID and everything going on. And I think, like, even the Goldie, like, I think the Goldie's been smashed with people trying to get up here. And their rents just shot up heaps. Like, Goldie's probably the new Sydney, or in the next 5 years anyway, it'd be just as busy as Sydney. But I think the Sunny Coast is it's a good spot as well. And that's why it's just getting smashed.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, the fellow I spoke to, he was saying that people, because of the COVID situation, have realised they can now work from home and work remotely. So they're like, fuck it, I'm going to move somewhere nice if I'm going to be working from home. So a lot of people in those corporate sort of positions come to the Sunny Coast. And they also said, like, I was like to him, well, what suburbs are paying, like, are charging the highest rent? He's like rattled off a few suburbs. Apparently there's a lot of rentals in like Noosa Heads that are going for like $900 a week. And I was like, holy fuck, like, how can anyone afford that?
But down in Noosa,
yeah.
up in Noosa.
Well, it's like, apparently back in the day, no one wanted to live there. And it's just like now a number one tourist destination. It's fucking crazy. But
yeah, it would be. I went there last week and it was like, I think I went on a Sunday or something, and it was just like packed, like Hastings Street, the main street. There's people everywhere, and yeah, you wonder how like so many people like afford it. Like, they're all like older people, I guess. So I guess it's like their retirement place, but
all cashed up with a super.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't know. I went up there the other day to do an interview, and it was like at this resort. They're talking about like the COVID cancellations and whatnot. Such a prime spot, eh? I was like, fuck, how good. But yeah, so I just say, did you? Yeah, I know you haven't told the Brendan story yet on the podcast yet, have you? So
no, I haven't.
Coppo. So me being a former Brendan's boy, Coppo was almost a Brendan's boy as well. Before you switched to grammar, or?
Yeah, I sort of went for interviews at the same time. Just looking at the options. I just wanted to get out of Gladstone, and I was just sister was finishing year 12, and mum and dad just said, oh, if you want to go, it's a good time to go now, like just get out completely, like of Chanel, of course. Don't want to badmouth the school because it was all right, but
just catch a court case.
Yeah, have
Chanel College versus Reece Copley.
Someone Wales chasing me soon. No, but yeah, so it was end of year 9, and I'll probably bring it on myself a little bit. I was playing up a little bit, getting in trouble, and Booch had been up at Brendan's that whole year, because you were year 10. He'd been there all year, and he was just telling me how much he loved boarding school, and another friend, Bailey Rigby, he was at grammar, and mum and dad were like, oh, if you're going to go, like, this would be the year to go, year 10, you're just getting there before senior school and stuff, so went up for interviews at both Brendan's and grammar, and I think I went to Brendan's first, and yeah, when I went there, I thought this is the maddest place ever. Like, it's known for the footy and everything like that. So that was obviously like what caught my eye, what made me keen to go, and they took us through. I think it was someone. Is it Scully or
like the principal?
Yeah, I can't remember who was taking me through, but anyway, we went around the school and we ended up in the dorms, and I'm checking them out. I'm thinking, fuck, this is the maddest thing. Like, imagine being in here with all your mates. Like, I can see why everyone's loving it. Like, just with your mates 24/7, like mad dorms. And just before we're about to like get out of there, we're like, oh, we'll just put our heads into the bathroom, and just in one of the shower cubicles or something. Yeah, it was a shower cubicle. There was just like this half-eaten chicken wing, like
drumstick,
like just on the floor of the shower. And I remember mum and dad just looking at it, going like, "What the fuck?" Like they were thinking someone's been hungry, like just having a little chicken wing with their shower. But yeah, it was just a giggle. I remember seeing it. Like, I didn't think anything of it. And mum and dad, like when we left, the first thing they said was, "What the fuck's a go with the chicken wing in the shower?" But yeah, it was just fucking just a laugh, just to see that, just to see it in there. And I think it might have put mum and dad off a bit because I went for my interview at grammar, and they said they'd get back to me whether I was approved or not. And then I remember getting my approvals from both Brendan's and grammar, and mum and dad go, "Oh, righto, we'll give you a week to decide where you want to go." And the whole time I was just saying, "Oh, fuck, I'm going to Brendan's. Like, there's no way I'd go to grammar."
Yeah.
And then I remember sitting down like at the dinner table and just going like, "Mum, dad, like, oh, so where do you want to go?" And I said, "Brendan's, 100%. They said, "Oh, we're going to send you to grammar." So a bit of a stitch.
Meanwhile, you're eating a chicken.
Bit of a stitch up. Like, I was just keen on the chicken. But anyway, I think it probably put them off a bit, So ended up at grammar, which I don't regret at all, It was unreal school and met some unreal people, but yeah, I was set on going to Brendan's the whole time,
100%. I've seen that chicken wing on the ground, chicken drumstick, and you were like, "Oh, that looks good." Oh god, that's funny. He'll give you a week to decide. You go with the grammar.
I remember just telling everyone at Chanel too. I was like, "Yeah, I'm out of here. I'm going to Brendan's. And everyone's like, "Oh, fucking dog leaving us, everything." And I was just like, "Nah, fuck you, I'm going to Brendan's." And then I remember sitting down with mum and dad, and they're like, "Nah, we're sending you to grammar." And I just thought, "Fuck, like, are you serious?" I just told everyone I'm going to Brendan's. And I had to go back to school the next day, like, "Oh no, mum said I'm going to grammar." Just all upset about it, But no, I wouldn't change it, Like, I think boarding school in general is just a mad place, like a mad way to do your schooling. And I think if anyone gets the opportunity to do it, they should do it, because I reckon it's just unreal, the people you meet, Like, probably say I could go to most of the major towns or cities in Queensland and like know one or two people there, like whether it's they live there or uni or work or whatever it is. Like, it's pretty cool, like meeting people from like all over, whether it's Central Queensland or Queensland in general. And yeah, it's mad being able to just go anywhere and catch up with someone for a beer or have a chat.
Yeah, it's funny. There's a heap of characters too in grammar, like your grade and even the grade above you, like, which is my grade. Yeah. So, yeah, some good folks there. Benny Condon too. You would have met him there. So
yeah, met the big Benny.
Big Benny. I got to know him pretty well up in Townsville. His big old busted head.
Yeah, he's definitely got a head for radio. You didn't get him on the potty. You wouldn't have the video on either.
No, turn that off.
You wouldn't have the video on either.
Nah, he's good value, old Benny. But I was going to say, where does that lead me? Oh yeah, so you've also got your Confro in grade 12 too. So probably lucky you didn't go to Brendan's.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the, not that it was lucky, but you look at Brendan's and they're such a successful like league school, and you think, fuck, if you go there, you got a good chance of winning Confro, which is obviously the biggest comp for private schools or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, when we just ended up in year 12, we're looking around and we just thought, fuck, we've got a like gun team here, like we could like give it a crack. And we're probably lucky we did have Big Benny Condon there, because he put it on for us at Confro. Like,
did he?
I'm not even kidding. No, like freakish shape, met against kids, but no, across the whole team, we had a mad team. And I remember Dad actually said to me, I don't know if it was the night after we'd won or the night that we'd won or whatever it is, but he said, "Oh, I bet you're glad she didn't go to Brendan's."
It's like the chicken's not that good at grammar though, Dad.
Yeah, you could tell they juice the chicken at grammar. Something in the chicken.
Oh mate, the chicken we ate at Brendan's is probably chicken in the cave, mate. I don't know. Sometimes they'd be eating, I'd be like, fuck, I hope this is chicken. What
did you reckon you liked the best about boarding school? What did you take away from it the most?
Oh, yeah, much the same. Just mateship, Like, I mean, I did okay with my grades and whatnot. Like, it got me to where I wanted to be. And but for me, I feel like I had the perfect balance of having fun on weekends, because we had a lot of fun on weekends, and then also knuckling down, because much similar to you, that's like kind of why I left Gladstone, because I was a bit of a rat bag too. Like, got to grade 10 and like Campo and I and like Connor Russell and a
Random
few of those, like Ben Holzheimer and Blakey Kogel were just fucking, causing mayhem in class and ruin it for the kids that were taking it serious. But it was just all my mates were getting trades and going like getting apprenticeships, and I was like, oh fuck, like they're all leaving. I'm starting to slack off with my school work, so I'd get to Brendan's or boarding school, but I wanted to go to Brendan's. And Mum and Dad offered me the opportunity when I was in like grade 8, but I just thought, slogging it out for 5 years of boarding school fees would be pretty intense. So
yeah, it's not cheap, eh?
Nah.
I'm sort of glad I went year 10 because I reckon if I went year 8, I wouldn't have like enjoyed it as much. Like, because I would have been too young, like just been thinking I'm getting sent away because I'm a little shit, like.
Which is what happened in grade 10.
Yeah, they gave me 2 years to prove myself. I didn't prove much, but I reckon if I went year 8, I would have like been real homesick and stuff like that. And even the first term of year 10, like it's hard to adjust to a boarding school, like just not being home every night, eating school food and shit like that. But nah, it's unreal, eh? When you actually get to experience it.
Yeah, so the small things you miss, like just being able to walk next door and just fucking start chatting to your mate. Like for me, in our hallway in grade 12, like Piley and Flinny were on like the opposite, like one wall, like so over the wall from us, and on the other room was Lasso and Callow. So it was like just our hallway was fucking so sick. Trouble. And we could literally climb over the walls and like land on the other bloke's bed if we wanted to. I think I did it maybe once or twice, but and then like just the late night chats, and even on your weekends, like if you had to play club footy on Saturday in Rocky, and like you weren't going on leave the Friday night, just going, and for us we'd go downtown, get like a Macca's feed, go get your snacks from Woolies, come back and just chucking the old hard drive into the laptop, laying down in bed and watching a movie on a Friday night after the footy, and then having a big sleep in, going to footy on a Saturday, and then like a party on Saturday night. It was just fucking life.
What was the were you just allowed out like whenever you wanted, pretty much, like in cars and stuff, like year 12?
Yeah.
Like what was it?
For us?
Yeah, could you just take off whenever, really?
Yeah, well, I think they sort of started losing control of us because gradually every term, like a bunch of boys would come back with their cars and P plates. So it was like, there's a few at the start of the year. Then term 2, there was like, 3 cars had turned into like 8. And then term 3, like 8 had turned into like 19 or 20. Yeah. And then before you know it, term 4 comes around. I've sort of told this before on the podcast, but our like head of boarding was on leave and our head of dorm was on leave. So it's just like, who's in charge? So it was like, it went from us handing our keys into the office when we got back from leave to like us handing our keys into like the head of dorm who was no longer there. So it's like the keys go into our top drawer.
Yeah.
And we go for Macca's runs every afternoon if we want.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was fucking wild. One weekend there, we all booked leave. Heap of us booked like fake leave, just saying we're with one of the other boys' families. And I think it was about 4 or 5 of us had 4 drives, and we've gone up to 5 Rocks, just taking like cartons and cartons of beer, booked this campsite, just all underage, and we just got this big piss up, me and all the boys, and just I remember waking up just with the biggest headache and trying to drive back on those rough roads. But yeah, it was the life. Just the 2 years I spent, I wish I had gone earlier, but like you said, I think going when we did it, I felt like it made me like real independent and real mature.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like you've moved out of home and you have to learn to fend for yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
But I know people now who live with their family, live with their parents, and it's just like, how long have you been living out of home? It's just like, well, technically 5 years now for me, but like I also did 2 years at boarding school, so it kind of feels like I've been living out of home for nearly 7 years now. It's weird.
Yeah, not being with mum and dad every night makes a difference, hey? Like, even at boarding school, like, you got it pretty easy. You got food there, like, bed there, everything like that. You don't really have to do too much, hey? But in San, like, with the keys and just taking off whenever you want, getting into trouble, I remember, I think it was from, like, 7:30 to 8:30 every night. We either had to be studying or in the gym. And yeah, I don't think many of us studied, but I just remember 8:30 because we never had to hand out keys in or anything. Like we were trusted with your keys, and if you fucked it up, then that's when they started to take your privileges off you. But I remember the dash. So where our dorms were, we used to have an oval right next to us, and we used to park out on the street across the oval. And I just remember 8:30 dash. There'd be about 40 blokes just running down the dorm heading to Macca's. And everyone's just like running across the top oval. You just see about 40 kids just like taking off to their cars. Every night you'd go down there, you'd see about 6 blokes that you knew down at Macca's. Like it was just a tradition every night. So it's good to like look back at like some of the things you used to do at 8:30 to 10, because we could be out till 10 every night. Like it's not early, it's not late, but like.
So is that like your bedtime? Like you had to be back in dorm
Yeah,
by 10?
if you went back by 10, then you're in strife. But Macca's was like 2 minutes down the road, and like you just go sit at Macca's, and then you'd buy 30 ice creams. You would just go on ice cream in cars. Just the shit we used to do, But yeah, we were real lucky with like our keys and what you like could and couldn't do with them. Like pretty much on a Saturday, Sunday, you could take off whenever you wanted. You just had to sign out. Didn't really need permission from the parents unless you were staying anywhere overnight. So they were real relaxed with us, which was sweet. Some of the shit we like used to just get up to, just dumb, eh?
I always wanted to know what the dynamic was at like the co-ed boarding school. So was there ever like the girls are here, you're not allowed to go there, and the boys are here, the girls can't go there? Or was there like you could go and socialise, or how
there was places you could socialise. Definitely not allowed in their dorms. Like you could sit out the front of the dorm, have a chat, like they could come out, have a chat and everything like that. Like their dorms were on the other side of the school, so it wasn't like you were right next to each other and shit like that. But yeah, you definitely socialise, and dinners and everything were together, like things like that. Like that's why I reckon grammar was so good. Like I think an all boys school would have been mad, but just like the relationships and everything you made with the chicks as well. Like some of the chicks I still talk to now, and like if you were to run into them, like you'd be able to catch up on 1,000 things too. Like it's not just all like boys and stuff that you just chat the same shit about. Like there's actually chicks out there too, like that are you'd like live with, like pretty much, because you're literally eating dinner with them every night and talking to them every night, which is sick. But
it's easy to have like a more emotional conversation with a female too, because you try to catch up with one of the boys and it's just like you might get 3 or 4 questions out of them and it's just like, all right, let's go hit the beers. Like, I don't give a fuck, you just pick up where you left off, eh? But yeah, no, I'm much the same, eh? Love just going through any town and knowing a bloke in every town. And even for me, like I've leaned on, it's a bit different going through Rocky. Like I already knew a fair few people in Rocky, but just when I was travelling down from Townsville, I had to do it over 2 days. The day before I was meant to leave, that's when that COVID case had come through Townsville. So they're like, we're going to start lockdown from 6 o'clock tonight for all Townsville residents, Magnetic Island and Palm Island. And I was like, fuck. And I was like halfway home from Charters Towers because I picked up a U-Haul furniture trailer from Charters. Anyway, I just see like the breaking news alert come through on my iPhone, like the little push notification. I was like, fuck. Anyway, so I was just called Dad and I'm like, I think I'm going to have to get out of here tonight, because I got to get out before lockdown happens. I could be in shit. Anyway, and I didn't really know what the rules were. So he's like, fuck, because he was going to come down and Cohen was going to come down as well and just like to split up the drive. And originally we're going to drive, I think it was on the Wednesday, we're going to drive from Townsville to Mackay and then stay the night there and then do Mackay to Sunny Coast the next day. And I was just like, he's like, fuck, what are you going to do? Like, because he wouldn't have been able to come, because then he wouldn't have been able to fly back. Yeah. And I think they would have let him on the airport knowing he'd come from Townsville. Yeah. So I was like, I'm going to do it myself. Like, fuck it. And he's just like, oh, yeah, rightio. He's like, be careful, blah, blah, blah. I think Mum was a bit upset I went by myself because I'd just driven out to Charters Towers and back, which is nearly 2 hours each way. So I already had, about 3.5 hours up my sleeve, and then I had to drive, instead of Townsville to Mackay, Townsville to Rocky. So I think I left at like 3 3:30, and drove to Rocky. I just hit up last, so I was like, "Oh, mate, yeah, sorry to spring this on you last minute, but can I crash at yours? Like, I've got to get out of Townsville tonight." He's like, "Fuck." He's like, "What time are you gonna get here?" Like, he was like, "Yeah, it's all good, but what time?" And I'm like, "I don't think I'll be there till midnight, eh?" And it's on like a weeknight, and like him and Susie, his girlfriend, like stayed up until I got there and like had a catch up with me at like midnight, and then went to bed. And I'm just like, "That's awesome, mate, that you can just lean on some of your mates that you went to school with, that you'll probably be lifelong mates with, and just know that you've got a bed when you need it," sort of thing.
Yeah. How'd you go with the U-Haul trailer? Did you just pump everything into it and
Mate.
take off? Or?
Well, that's it. I got back. Dad's like, "All right, I'll leave work early. I'll come help you pack." And like, I don't have much stuff because everywhere I've lived, it's always been at someone else's place. Like, except for when I was living in Brizzy, I lived with Tess, and like it was our place, but it was all her furniture basically. I just had my bed and like some drawers and my clothes, and basically I've just got like heaps of tools and motorbike parts and my motorbike. So had to bring all that. And I've got a ute too, so just Dad and I were just loading it, just chucking it in. And we did it in like we got it done in like 40 minutes, I reckon.
Wow.
Which is not a bad effort because we were just fucking pumping it out. And then, I hit the road and it's fucking, the Triton was feeling it, the big load on the back, like, and I was overtaken too, like just trying to round up as many people as I could. But tell you what, when you got a trailer on the back, just chews through the diesel. Like, I reckon I fueled up at Mackay and then got to Rocky, fueled up in Rocky the next morning. Like, I didn't need a full tank, but it was probably like used probably half a tank from Mackay to Rocky. And then from Rocky, I think I fueled up at Childers after that, and then that got me through to Sunny Coast. But fuck, with the big load on the back, you just chew through the diesel.
It's not the best drive either, is it?
Oh, mate, no.
Like, I reckon I've done the Sunny Coast to Rocky drive 100 times now, and just every time it just fucking doesn't get any easier, eh?
Yeah. Like, well, it's shit, but the Rocky to Mackay drive is fucking terrible.
Worse, eh? It's shit.
The old Marlborough stretch. Thankfully, I did that from like 9 p.m. to midnight, and because it was so dark, I don't think you notice it as much, but it's still a boring trip.
You just got the tunes going.
Yeah.
Not even thinking about it, eh?
That's it. I put on the good thing is like you put on a few podcasts, I think like the NBA finals were still on, so I chucked on a few sports podcasts, a couple of debating ones, them talking about the game and shit. So I had plenty to listen to, and I don't know if there's been like new satellites put up or whatnot, but like I had reception the whole trip down basically. So I was like, fuck, how good's this?
Yeah.
So
nothing worse than when you like listen to a potty and it'll just drop out because like you haven't downloaded it or something.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, it just drops out. You're like, fuck, you sweet.
Fuck my life, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that was all right. That got me through. I handled it all right. I think Mum was real nervous and real worried about me doing it by myself, but I was like, it's all good. If I feel tired, I'll pull over. But
yeah, I'm no good at long drives, eh?
Yeah.
Like anything over 5 hours, I'm pretty useless at.
Yeah.
Like 5 hours, I'm like pushing it, eh? Like I just get like real lethargic, just zone out.
Yeah.
Fucking
no.
Like I could dead set fall asleep in 10 minutes. Like my head hits the pillow. I'm asleep in like 5 minutes every night. Like dead set. I could be sitting here, put my head back, crash in like 10 minutes. Like, and when I'm driving, it's just no good. Eh? If I get comfortable, I'm just fucked. So I just got to be uncomfortable the whole trip, just like moving around, squirming. Have ADHD or something. Eh?
You get on the old like Red Bulls or something like that to keep you going.
I get on the Red Bulls now, but used to like be so against them. Just like, fuck that.
Not good for you.
But now I just pump like 3. just got 50 Cent on the man blast.
Dude, I remember that one time. I think Coppo and I were coming back from.
We went out to Campo's. Campo had a little drinks tonight, and I remember "I'm the Man" by Fitty was just the tune at the time.
Yeah. But was that the first time we played it, or was it? Remember that time you? Wait, no, it was. I think I had my P's, and then I think Booch and I came and picked you up from Grandma, was it? Or we picked you up on the way.
Yeah, maybe.
We did a car trip home. I think Lockie was in the back and fell asleep.
Oh yeah. That's what it would have been.
Yeah.
Typical.
Yeah. So Boosh is in the back sleeping, like fucking what? Not even a 2-hour trip from your poon. Needing a nap.
From grammar, it's like an hour.
Yeah. I think we might have picked you up from grammar. I think.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, and might have just been a weekend trip or whatnot. I can't remember, but anyway, we're going back, and I think I'm the Man 50 Cent came on, and you're like, "What is this song?" And then it just became the anthem. Yeah,
and then I'm pretty sure it must have been like that must have been school holidays or something like this, because I remember we went out to Campo's. And he had a few drinks out there, and I remember just like driving out there on the Tridos, and we were just blasting it like
getting in the mood.
It's a tune, but hey, when it comes on now, that's all I think about. But
I
just think about driving then, and
just the memes. Oh mate, yeah, I don't know if I've got it in my current playlist at the moment, but I'm gonna have to add it. I've kind of forgot about that song.
What's your top songs in your playlist at the moment? Anything sticking out?
Lately. To be honest, this morning after I put up a story last night just with the setup and that little sort of like a song featuring Drake as like the music filter.
Yeah.
And there's like Drake's only features in it a little bit, but his part just gets me going. So I had that new song. I can't remember the name. Funnily enough, like I'm usually hip hop through and through, like R&B hip hop. That's usually my playlist because it just pumps you up in the gym if you got a bit of 50 Cent or something playing. But my mate Ty, whose grandparents' house I'm currently living in, he sent me a Snapchat the other day, like just of his car stereo, and this old banger was playing. It was this old Nickelback song. It's called, I think it's called "Saving Me." I can't sing it for you, but
so what, you just been diving back into the classics?
Nah, well, what it did though is it sort of opened up a bit of a, I sort of, how would you say, went back to my old Nickelback days and had a look at some of their old classics. And I know a lot of people tend to talk shit about Nickelback, I think, but they got a few old bangers that can pump you up.
They definitely got bangers.
Yeah.
I just remember, mate. I remember you used to be the king of like hip hop rap. Like you had the unheard tunes. Like for me, little grammar kid, bro. We don't listen to that. We'll listen to country music. I just remember you always produced the goods and.
On the playlist.
You had a good playlist going on there for a while. But,
yeah. Well, that's it. Like,
change man.
Yeah. Coppo now wears like gold chains and the grill everywhere.
Yeah, you just developed me gold chains. I took them off for this part.
Yeah. You just took them off because they were making noises when he was moving around and just talking. When we were at Brendan's, we had like just the basic, like a little stereo with an aux cord, and it was either like Lasso or me. Someone would just put in their little.
Isn't Lasso's he's good on the playlist, isn't he?
Yeah, he's pretty handy.
He can
on the
produce
playlist.
Some good ones.
Yeah,
I've heard that.
Similar to me, he's probably more into. He probably appreciates it a lot more, but there's always like 15 songs that would probably always get a run every single session because they just pump you up, like. Trophies by Drake.
Trophies.
That'll always get you going, eh?
Yeah.
What else was there? There's always just anything 50 Cent too would always get me going, like.
Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of like old school 50 at the moment. Well, not even old school, but just some of his like earlier stuff. And they're just classics every time, eh? Like, you know, when you get like the classic, but it'll come on and you skip it. If it's 50, I struggle to skip it. Eh? I can't skip them anymore.
No, I'm the same. I think that Get Rich or Die Trying album he did, like, still one of the greatest like debut albums of all time. Just
it is good. Eh?
Unreal.
My walkout song for my fight.
Yeah.
I sort of like. I remember like the week leading up to the fight, I was just fucking blaring every song I could find, just trying to find something with like a good like 30-second minute intro, because I knew like that's all that really matters, like just the intro. And Smile by G Unit. It's like that was like in my head the whole week, just because I loved the first like 10 seconds of it. And then like we never got asked if we wanted an intro song, and I was just thinking, fuck, like I've just been blasting the music all week and I'm not even gonna get an intro song. And then at the weigh-ins, we had to fill in like a little declaration thing, and at the bottom it said like, "What intro song do you want?" And I played "Many Men" by 50 Cent.
Oh, did you?
Like, gun little intro, but I remember like on fight day, like they've called out my name, and they've started playing Many Men, and they've played like some fucking like LimeWire version.
Oh, really?
Bro, like, I'm not even kidding. The intro was probably like 2 minutes long. It was just people talking. Like the song hadn't started or anything, and I'm trying to pump myself up to go walk out to this, and it was just like dead set like a LimeWire version, like nothing like the song. I'm just like looking around thinking, what the fuck's to go with this? Like I was filthy, eh?
Oh god. That's a stitch up. Imagine if it was just like an a cappella version of like some old guy around the pub singing it.
Yeah, that's it. I don't even reckon it was 50, eh?
Oh,
like, I reckon it must have been a cover by some fella that they've found on YouTube.
The same lyrics, but?
To be honest with you, I don't even remember it because I remember just getting that angry that it didn't come out the way I wanted to. I just fucking walked in there and they stopped it.
The crowd just going, what the fuck is this intro song?
What is this fucking dickhead picked? Like, is this meant to be 50 Cent? Like,
God. That's hilarious. Yeah, my old fucking stands just come undone. That's what happens, mate, if you buy cheap gear. The old podcast is done on the old budget. Don't want to spend too much on it, but yeah, I don't know what my intro song would be. I'd probably go for like I'd get around Blue Notes by Meek Mill, if you ever heard that.
Nah.
Booch gets around the song too, so there's probably a good chance like
I've probably
you might have heard it.
I would have heard it.
It's got this nice little like guitar sort of how would you say? It's like an electric guitar. I don't know how you explain it. I'll have to try. I might put a little snippet of it
we'll put a little
in the podcast when I edit it all up.
I'll give it a listen.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I think you should have gone the old Eye of the Tiger, mate. The old school classic.
Yeah, I was. It was either going to be a classic or just like 50 Cent. That were the only two options, and I got a few recommendations from some of the boys, and then like fucking all week I was just set on Smile by G Unit, 50 Cent. And I was thinking, nah, this is the one. And then all of a sudden I thought, I'm not even going to get one. Then I just got put on the spot and I thought, nah, you know what, Many Men. And they just fucked it for me. So I think next time, if I do end up getting back in the ring, have another fight, I think I'll go with the classic.
Fucking the old crowd, Many Men. Probably wishing death upon Coppo for putting that song in their ears.
yeah, not the LimeWire version, eh? I was fucking that filthy with it.
Oh, that's hilarious. Fuck, I would have loved to see that. We'll have to see if we can find the old footage of you walking out.
I remember turning around like 30 times, like, I don't think this is my song. Like, I remember just like, I started walking and Steve, my coach, he goes, nah, just wait, don't rush it. And I'm thinking, well, fuck, this isn't even your song, so I don't even know if I'm meant to be walking out or not.
He just starts rubbing you on your shoulder like, soak it up, mate. You know, you pick this song. This will get you going. You're like, fuck off, dickhead. Oh, fuck. Imagine if it started playing, your coach is just like, I love this song.
Nah, it's good. I've actually got to give credit to him. He's got a mad playlist. You go in there some days and he'll be playing a bit of house music or something like that, and other days he's just got good rap on. So got to give credit to him because fuck, he can produce some bangers.
How old is he?
Fuck, I don't know. Yeah, he had a birthday last week. Actually, I'm not 100% sure. I think I don't want to give him any credit and say he's like mid-30s because he's probably 40, like over 40s. But yeah, I don't think he's that old, eh?
Fuck, that's alright then. It'd be funny if he was like in his 60s or so. He was just cranking some like real, New York old school bangers from the streets. Excuse me, guys, just bloody tightening my old stand back up. Yeah, right. Have they approached you at all about doing another fight?
Nah, I haven't really been as committed. Like, I gave up the beers and everything for a few months leading up to it, and at the moment I'm just finding any excuse to have one. So I wouldn't turn it down. Now. Yeah, I wouldn't turn it down if it came up, but yeah, I think I definitely got to switch on and commit to it and have a bit of a better crack. Like, I thought I was fit going into it, but it wasn't until I was in there that I realised how like unfit I was. Like, it's a different level of fitness, like boxing.
So what did you think of the old jiu-jitsu?
It was good, eh? Like, something completely different, but it's like, I reckon it's real hard for learners to go in there and do, because like, you learn most of your learn most of your skills and stuff by actually rolling with people. And when you're rolling with people better than you, like if you're day one or even 2 weeks in, like there's going to be people better than you, obviously. And it can be pretty discouraging, like going in there and at the end of a session, you'll just like roll with other people. So it's pretty much like you're just going at it with other people, and you'll come up against like a blue belt or a purple belt, and they'll just like then they're not going to go easy on you, but they like want you to learn too. So you end up just getting choked. Like I remember just getting choked like maybe like 5 times a night. Like I remember you'd roll up, you'd just be like, yeah, so you go through your drills and then it'd be time to roll, and then like you knew who to look out for, and someone would go easy on you for, say they were 3-minute rounds, someone would go easier on you for 2.5 minutes, and then the last 30 seconds you're just getting choked out. So I reckon that was probably the hard thing.
Like see black and red.
Yeah, well, I was gonna black out before I tap out. Hey? No, but yeah, it's probably like pretty hard to get into just because of that. And I went to a real good gym with a real good coach and stuff like that, but I don't know, I just sort of lost interest in it. And I was still keen on playing footy at the time when I was going, and the amount of weight I stripped off it just from the cardio and like how cardio intensive it is, like I think I lost like 5 kilos just from doing that. And at the time I wanted to be fitter, but I needed to keep the weight on me if I wanted to keep playing footy, and sort of put me off it a bit. But it's pretty mad. Like I'd recommend it to anyone to give a go, like any combat sports really, like especially the cardio, like intensive stuff. Like if you're looking to lose weight or anything, it's probably the best way. Like you can literally just strip it. Yeah,
I've often thought I'd love to get into something like that, but yeah, I think it'd take me a long time to adjust to that sort of cardio level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you'd be surprised, like within 2 weeks, like if you're training every day for 2 weeks, you'll rock up and next you know, you're like things that you're fucking blowing at, like you don't struggle with and shit like that. But
yeah, no, I'd love to get into some boxing or something like that, but it just depends on the hours too. Like my work hours always change. I'm on the earlies next week, so I'm fucking stoked for that. I think this is my 4th week working down here now, and I've just been doing 9 to 5s the last 4 weeks, but I'm on the 5 a.m. start next week, so I'll knock off at 1, and I'll actually have some daylight to go and fucking do shit.
One's a good knock-off time, eh? What's to go? We have any radio time, or you don't know yet?
As in,
like with the early starts?
Yeah, so I'll do the 6:30 and 7:30 news bulletin. So like I read the news for Sunny Coast and Gympie. So yeah, that'll be my role, and then basically just planning the day for the other reporters when they get in, like what jobs are on and what stories we're going to cover, sort of thing. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that because like at the moment with how short the days are, like it takes me half an hour to get to and from work, you know, in decent traffic.
Yeah.
So if I end up doing, 15, 20 minutes staying back after my knock-off time to work and finish something and then coming home, I don't get home till like 6 o'clock. So it just sucks. Like I'd love to go for, go to a beach or something, or, go for a run or just go and enjoy some sunlight. So I'll be able to do that next week, which I'm fucking stoked about.
And how long is that? Just for the week that you do that, or you do
fortnight. So we also have a 7 o'clock start too. I don't know when my turn is for doing that, but usually it's fortnight blocks. But because we have a lot more reporters here than we did in Townsville, it's like, if you're not on that 5 or 7, the rest of you on like the 9 o'clock start. So it takes a while for that block of earlies to come around, but when they do, like,
you're worth it, eh?
Yeah. But by the end of it, you're like, fuck, I just want to go back to getting up at like a normal hour. Because I'll probably get up at like 3:30 or 3:50 to
try gym afternoons.
Yeah, I think so. Probably just go straight from work to the Snap Fitness and then try and knock that over fast and then make the most of my afternoon. Or yeah, that's probably going to be the way to go because I don't want to do it before work. I'll be getting up at fucking 2 a.m. So yeah. I was going to say, do you have any recommendations, mate? Any books or movies or anything that you've been getting into lately?
Speaking of 50, I'm actually reading a book with him. Yeah. It's The 50th Law.
Oh yeah, you were telling me about this. I think.
Yeah.
I've actually got the book too, I think.
I've been pretty slack with my reading. lately. I think I'm probably 50 pages in, but it's a mad book, eh? Like, it sort of just talks about the traits and things that like this guy who writes it, he followed 50 Cent for 12 months or whatever it is. And he sort of just talks about some of the traits and things that 50 Cent done to like make him who he is, and sort of like something like that. So the first thing they talk about is like fear and like overcoming fear and putting yourself in awkward situations so that the next time you're in that situation, like you're not feared of it, or like you're not scared of it, you're more comfortable. So yeah, only 50 pages in, but fuck, it's a pretty good book. I need to just rip in and sort of be in slack with it, but nah, it's good.
I think he's actually just released another book too, like might have been start of the year, or he was promoting it a bit, but I don't know if it's like an autobiography sort of book or. But yeah, I think my old fella bought me that book. He's like, "Oh, do you want this?" He like sent me a file. I was like, "Yeah, sweet, grab that." So he grabbed that for me, and I've still got to read it, but I'll get around to it. I was going to ask you any songs that you'd recommend, mate? Any Netflix series, anything like that?
I've actually been quiet as on Netflix, eh?
Yeah.
I'm more like, I just jump on YouTube and just watch like random shit for fucking hours. Like, I struggle to sit there and finish a series, but
it's a downward spiral sometimes at 10 o'clock at night on YouTube.
Yeah. Instead of committing to a 40-minute episode, you can just jump on and watch something for 20 minutes. But I know the new season season of Outer Banks comes out. I think it's next week. Did you watch the first one?
Nah, I should get into it.
It's good.
Good, yeah.
It's probably the only show that I've like sat there and watched in a day.
Yeah.
Like, it's just about these knockabouts who just live in this town where you're either a knockabout or you're a posh fella, and they just get up to drama and a few things happen. Yeah, but it's an easy watch, and pretty keen for the second season come out. Songs, I think Alex Glenn put this song up this morning or yesterday on the set by YG and Tory Lanez.
Yeah. I
think it's a bit of an oldie, but I just like grabbed it off him on his Insta. Fuck, I've had it on repeat all day, eh? Just a tune, eh?
Oh, fuck, I don't know if I'll have to play it. I don't know if I've heard it. You know, sometimes you hear a song and you're like, oh, that's that song, but you couldn't name it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like that with a lot of songs, but I don't think I've heard that one. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I've been getting, like, my guilty pleasure is 1-4.
Oh, yeah.
I get into a bit of 1-4 drill.
Yeah.
A bit of Aussie drill.
Yeah.
Start saying I'm from Mountie.
It is Aussie drill, mate. So if you're Aussie, it should be acceptable to listen to it. Like,
that's it, mate. But the thing is, the only reason why I'm sort of into it, because I love the UK stuff as well. Like,
yeah.
You know, everyone go, oh, you like listen to Stormzy? I'm like, yeah, I listen to Stormzy, but I've got a lot of other rappers over there I really like listening to. And then the funny thing with like what 1-4 is doing is it's like very similar to what they're doing over there, but it's like you got Australian accents and
UK. And it sounds mad, eh? Like when you listen to the UK drill, like it's cool, but when you listen to it with like an Aussie accent and stuff like that, it's sick, eh? Like,
yeah.
I've watched heaps of people do like the reviews, like heaps of UK people and stuff do like the Aussie drill like reviews, and they like review like 1-4 songs, and like they're just like getting off to it, eh?
Yeah.
Like they just love it.
I think it's different because like I don't know, I think the beats and the drill musics are like, I don't know how you explain it. I reckon it sounds a lot more like electronic, like heaps of different noises and like a real cool beat. I don't know how you explain it, but you know, I think because I'd already previously listened to a lot of UK drill, then when I've actually gave 1-4 a chance, I was like, oh, I'll have a listen. I was just like, fuck, this actually slaps.
Yeah.
But I think if I had to go on just straight from like, you know, hip hop to listen to from US rappers, and then from that straight to 1-4, I'd be like, what the fuck? But
yeah,
it's I actually got an appreciation. And just seeing how much respect they get worldwide in the US, or more the UK, like, because they froth it, but just like shit, they actually are pretty famous.
Have you been listening to any Kid Laroi lately?
No.
He's I'm a bit of a fan of him, but seen a few clips of him and stuff lately, and he just doesn't seem Australian at all anymore. Eh? He just sounds American and everything. Yeah. And I reckon it's like a bit disappointing, but he's only young. Like, I reckon being over there in LA or wherever he is and like hanging out with all those people, you would start to like lose your Australian accent. But sometimes I listen to him and like I was a big fan, and like And then now I listen to him and he's just trying to sound American a bit, I reckon. Like,
Yeah.
and it's sort of just heartbreaking, you know.
Just ruins it, mate. He's not proud of his Aussie accent.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't mind it, I mean, if someone said, do you want to listen to Cursor or 1-4, I'd probably say 1-4.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, if you look at some of the biggest like rap names in Australia, like with your Cursor and your 360, I think 1-4 are definitely going to come out on top.
Yeah.
I mean, the Cursor and 360 had mad careers, but I think
Probably made a bit of
1-4
money.
were probably a bit more worldwide, eh?
Yeah, no, I reckon. I was going to say, mate, I just sort of listed my guilty pleasure. Do you have a guilty pleasure?
Fuck, it's probably not really a pleasure after, but I've been bad on the pokies lately. Like, just I had a fair bit of time away from him, and then just the lights, man. They get me. The lights get me, eh? Like
the noises.
you
and
walk
the
past and you hear like someone like getting a feature go off, and you fucking look in, they win a few $100, and you just go, "Fuck, how's it that easy?" Down in Burleigh on the weekend, had a bit of a slap. Didn't end too well, but sort of like at the time you think, "Fuck, this is unreal." Like, how good is it to make easy money? But you don't make easy money at all, eh? So that's probably my guilty pleasure. I've been like really, really bad into, this is actually a good one, almond croissants.
Almond croissants. Dude, I've been bad on the chocolate croissants. I've been ripping into them too lately.
Fuck the croissants, man. They hit different. The other day at work, like at the cafe here on the coast, one of the girls, I think they'd slightly just burnt one.
Yeah.
And she rang it over to me and Tommy, one of the other boys in the kitchen, goes, "Oh, do you boys want to half this?" And I'd literally never had one before. And I go, "Oh yeah, fuck it. I'm hungry as, I'll just eat it." So hook in this almond croissant and go, "Fuck, that's unreal." And then I think that was Sunday last week. And then I went and got one Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And then I got one again Saturday in Burleigh, I think. Had one this morning too.
Yeah,
Fuck.
right. So they're just almonds in a croissant. Is that all it is? Or is it
It's
like
like
a paste?
it's like almond butter or something on the inside.
Yeah, right.
Like sometimes I've been trying to check the coast out for which has got the best almond croissant, but I'll give a little shout out to John Cole in Budrum,
Yep.
like a little espresso place, and actually I'll give a shout out to Isbar Espresso where I work. They fucking got good almond croissants, but
Yeah.
I'm living 20 meters from this John Cole cafe thing, and I just go there after I train in the morning, get a little almond croissant, and they just got like this almond butter or something on the inside. Fuck, it's so good. So good.
Oh, but also, mate, you're a bit of a chef too. You've been keeping up with your Instagram stories, Snapchat stories of your work in the kitchen, mate. How did that all start?
When I'm like first come back to the sunny coast, I fucking couldn't find a job anywhere. And then I ran into like a good family friend at the gym one day, and I was just telling him like, "Fuck, haven't really been able to find like consistent work." I was doing a few days with my uncle painting and shit like that. And he said he worked at a cafe, and he said, "We're actually looking for a cook if you'd be keen." And I said, "Oh fuck, mate, I worked at Macca's when I was 14, but I'll give it a go." And sort of just went there for a trial, and it was just mad, like working with heaps of young people and like people our age, and it was just a mad place to work. Did a trial and then come back, started working there, and then within a few months went full time with them. And it's just basic brekkie food like bacon, eggs, and toast. But when you throw it together with a few things, like fuck, it's good food. Like I've literally tried so many cafes on the sunny coast, and I've got to say, like, Isbar Espresso is probably the best on the coast for food and coffee. Like, you go to some places, you have unreal food. You go to some places and you have like unreal coffee, but they nail it every
double
time.
whammy.
Eh? It's
Yeah.
good, and that's not biased at all. Like,
Yeah, right.
it's just after trying so many places, like I love eating out.
Mm.
After trying so many places, like, I hard to find places that can nail both.
Yeah.
But the old cooking on my story, it usually comes after a few reds.
Yeah, right.
After a few reds, I just get a bit creative.
You're a bit of a fan of the Reds by the sounds, mate.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. Hey, I just see like LeBron and you
I
see
don't
those
mind
guys
them.
on like Insta Live and shit like that having a red. You go, fuck, that's mad. So, It was actually in Japan when I was living there that I sort of like really started hooking into the reds because it was cheap as. You'd buy a bowl of red, you'd smash that, and you were fucking pissed. So it was in Japan where it started, and since I come home, Mum's a big fan of her reds, and just seeing like LeBron and I know there's a few NRL players who like don't mind a red and stuff like that. So sort of just been getting into them. But yeah, I'll have a few reds one night, and I'll just think, fuck, what can I cook tonight?
Yeah.
And made a few videos now. I made one with this fucking sandwich that's mad. Like,
that was
just steak and onion, like the most basic thing, but fuck. I don't know what it is. Like, I remember when I first made it, I was just hungover as a dog. Opened my fridge, had like sourdough bread, steak and onion sitting in there. It's like, fuck, I'll just whip this together. And I just remember like it being the best thing ever. I don't know whether it was just because I was hungover or whether it's actually just a fucking mad combo, but made the steak sandwich video, and I made a soup the other night that I saw on TikTok, and fuck, it was good, But it's not really. I enjoy eating out and shit, but cooking and stuff, like, it's good, but not something I love. But
yeah, okay. Because it looked pretty good, mate. The soup. I think I saw the same TikTok, and I think I replied. I was like, "Do you get this off TikTok?"
Yeah.
I was like, because I think I might have saved the video. I was like, "Fuck, this looks alright." But yeah, and then I guess for me, mate, I've been getting into the overnight oats, as we were talking about the other day.
Yeah.
Put it up on my story. I think, had a few people reply and suggest a few, alternative ingredients I could chuck in, and someone recommended chocolate almond milk. Bit of a game changer, they reckon. That one was from Dylan Johnson, not the big man, man. This is Dylan Johnson from Emerald. Just coincidence, same name, but I was like, yeah, fuck right, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if the big man had recommended chocolate almond milk, though. He'd probably say, put a fucking chocolate oat milk in there.
The oat milk. Don't worry about oat milk, bro. Get the oak in there. Chocolate oak.
Yeah. Oh, overnight oaks.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. I saw that, the recipe I saw that on TikTok ages ago. And if you go through my camera roll, it's just like TikTok recipes. So I might only probably got 100 videos there. I probably only made 5, but I was smashing those overnight oats for a while. They're just handy as waking up, having them already ready for you, and
pretty high in protein too as well. If you're in the gym, I think. If you're putting a bit of your protein powder in there too, that'll fucking boost it up. I've been rocking this old like half cup of oats, half a cup of almond milk, bit of like one scoop, bit of like big scoop of yogurt. Some of those chia seeds.
Oh yeah.
Get a bit fancy. Scoop of peanut butter.
Yeah,
crunchy.
Peanut butter's a go, eh?
Yeah. What else did I put? Oh, I've only just started this week. Put a bit of maple syrup in there too.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. And then just mix it up real good. Oh, and a banana. I put a full banana in there too. Mashed banana.
In your oats, you put the banana in there.
Yeah. So I'll mash it. Then chuck it in there with the almond milk and the whatnot, and then I just mix the shit out of it, and it just becomes like a little crunchy soup. Not a soup because it's like thick. It's almost like, I don't know how to explain it. It's like a paste almost. After you've put it in the fridge and you wake up the next morning, it's just sort of a little bit harder. And then I just take it, eat it at work. I keep it cool, and then after the gym,
they're pretty filling, the old oats. Like, I remember when I was hooking into them, I'd like smash a few mouthfuls before I went to training. Then I'd come back and try to finish it. And I wasn't like eating for like a few hours after. I'm like, they're filling. Yeah,
it's good. And like, because I found that when I was in Towns, like I wasn't going to the gym before work, so I couldn't like, if I had a coffee in the morning, I didn't need breakfast. I could get through to like lunchtime quite easily without feeling hungry. But yeah, now after I've been going to the gym in the morning, as soon as I get to the office, I'm like fucking ready to eat half a cow. But yeah, the oats, they definitely like settle you, get you through till like 1 o'clock, then have lunch or something like that. But yeah, no, it's good, eh? It's handy for those out there that are looking for a quick, easy thing to whip up and eat. So yeah, eating like a good brekkie in the morning.
Yeah. How's your you found any good coffee on the coast? You got anywhere close to work or what?
No, Well, I haven't really been buying much takeaway or like takeaway coffees of late. Apparently, there's a few good spots close to my office in Maroochydore. There's a real good Thai spot up the road apparently too for good takeaway Thai food, and sushi train as well just up the road. So I reckon I might get into that on Friday. Maybe make it a Friday ritual where I go and eat out, just to reward myself for getting through the week. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of down on the Esplanade here. It's sort of not far from mine. There's not a bad cafe, but yeah, I haven't really explored. You got any recommendations apart from what was the place you were recommending? The one is the one you recommend?
Bar Espresso.
Is Bar Espresso.
Yeah.
There's the plug for Is Bar Espresso. Where's that located?
It's like I think Bells Reach is a suburb, but most people would think it's Caloundra West. It's it's probably only 10 minutes from here, eh?
Yeah.
But it's good. But yeah, I reckon the best thing about working FIFO is I come back and it's hard to get into the routine of cooking when all your meals and shit's cooked for you out there.
Yeah.
So when I come home, I just eat out every time.
Yeah.
Fuck the amount of money I spend on food in a week, eh? It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But in Maroochydore, I've got a little place down in Alex Head's Milk and Beans.
Yeah.
It's probably close to on the way to work for you. Are you near the Channel 7?
Yeah, not far. You got so you know how, say you go on the Channel 7 side of the road,
Yeah.
you sort of turn left just after that building and go up
Past the plaza.
Plaza Road, I think it's called.
Yeah.
And then go along there. There's the Snap Fitness down there on the left.
Yeah.
And then when you get to those lights where the Snap Fitness is, you turn left, and my office is down that road.
Yeah, there's a mad little cafe called Harvest.
Yeah.
It's underneath a few offices. It would only be 50 meters, 100 meters from you.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty good. Went there
Harvest.
Harvest. Yeah, went there for a coffee and a little bit of a bite a few weeks ago. Haven't been back, but it was pretty good. Be close to you.
Fuck yeah.
But,
I'll, Google Maps it when I'm at work. It's handy, doing the old walk to see how long it'll take you to walk.
Yeah.
If you're trying to find somewhere. But yeah, I'm trying to think. There's a few spots. I've heard that. I think it's must be Alex, the surf club there. Probably underneath, or they do real good brekkie somewhere. You can get a real nice brekkie bun or something, and people at work were raving on about it, how good they were.
Underneath the surf club there, they got Bluff Bar, but I'm not too sure if they do brekkie or not. Can't say I've ever been, but they got this little kiosk thing underneath it too that does coffee and a bit of food. So they might be talking about that.
Maybe,
but I think that's run by the surf club, and then I think Bluff Bar's run by the surf club as well, but it's sort of its own thing as well.
Yep.
But
yeah, right.
It'd be either one of those, I reckon. But we haven't really had the chance to explore any watering holes yet, have we?
No, not yet.
Early days.
I think too, just the whole mask thing. I think when we can remove masks, it'll be good. Lift all those restrictions and shit. Hopefully we get that done on Friday. But yeah, I'm keen to go out and have a bit of a night out.
Might have to see what happens Saturday, eh?
Yeah, we'll see. The only drama is from here. It's a fucking bit of a hike.
Yeah, it's not far. It's not far to say Drift Bar or.
I actually been to Drift Bar.
You went there?
Yeah, I went Saturday night. It was pretty. I think I went about 8:39. Watched second half of the Bronx game. Had a beer, then left. But yeah, it's probably the closest. Is there any good spots along there as well, like Caloundra?
Drift Bars. I rarely go out in Caloundra just because it's 20 minutes from home or whatever, and after a big night on the beers, you don't really want to be in the Uber. But I think CBX is just up the road. It's all right, but I think a lot of the places used to be a lot better before, all the COVID stuff. They used to turn into a bit of a dance floor and shit like that. Whereas now, because everything's got to be seated. GBT. Oh, I think the Caloundra RSL. I think it's going off at the moment. I think it's back in fashion.
Oh really?
The RSL.
The RSL.
I think a Friday, Saturday night. I think it's a bit of a spot for the young ones.
Yeah.
I did go there a few weeks ago. Didn't get let in anyway. But
I don't know why they wouldn't have done that, mate.
Oh, it was a big night, and I remember trying to withdraw some money from the ATM for the pokies.
Yeah.
And I remember like the money. Well, I don't remember the money obviously because I was that blind, but the money was sitting in like the chute the whole time. And I've gone up to the secchi saying this fucking ATM hasn't given me my money, and they've walked over with me and realised that like the money was in the chute sitting there the whole time.
Oh no!
They
They
just,
kick you out?
yeah, they're like, right, mate, you're not up. I said, right, no fuck yous, I'm going to the GBT up the road. Walked to like fucking 500 metres up the road and it was closed. I thought, fucking dogs.
They're like, yeah, no, have fun with that.
Yeah, they did. They must have known it was closed. I was like, oh, fuck yous, I'm going to the GBT. Headed up the road, got there, it was closed. I'm like, knocking on the door and shit. Obviously closed. I was like, fuck. I think I stumbled back to the RSL and waited out the front. Fucking, yeah, bushes might have got involved. I don't remember. But it wasn't a night to remember. But yeah.
But I was to say, like, sort of probably wind it up soon, but you have to quickly tell us about your Bottle experience just before you got here tonight.
Yeah, it wasn't anything. Anything special, but I was just a bit disrespected, you know. So I walk into the BWS just up the road, and the guy's just eyeing me off the whole time, which is fair. Like, he's by himself. Like, I'm pretty fucking intimidating. But no, he's just eyeing me off as I'm walking in, and I've just walked straight to the fridge, grabbed the coastal hours that I fucking knew I was going to get the whole time, and I've walked out. I'm just like, oh, how are you, mate? He's like, yeah, good. And he scanned the beers I paid for him. He just goes, mate, how old are you? But the way he said it, I was thinking, fuck, like, this guy thinks that I'm taking the piss out of him and that I'm like 16 trying to get pissed. Yeah. And he goes, can I see your ID? So I've just pulled it out. I said I'm 21. He's like, can I see your ID? I've given it to him. He's had a look at it. He's just like looking at it real strange. He goes, yeah, right, mate. Gave it back to me. And it was like he was thinking I was trying to catch him off guard, but I didn't think I looked that young. Like, just the way he said it, like, how old are you, mate? Like, I was a bit like fucking taken back. I was thinking, fuck, are you sweet?
Yeah. Oh, it should be like, I'm 14.
Yeah. Should be like, oh, mate, I'm sorry, I'm only 15.
Don't tell my mum.
Yeah. Should have full calls just seen, but I was a bit disrespected.
Oh, God. That's awesome, mate. Well, I don't know, I might wrap it up here, but being on the coast, no doubt you'll be back on the podcast if you enjoyed yourself, mate.
Yeah,
it'd
be good. I want to say thanks for having me on, and I reckon it's pretty sick that you got your own podcast going. Congrats on how it's going, and
thanks, mate.
Don't know too many people doing their own podcast, so congrats on it.
Oh, cheers, mate. Really appreciate that. Means a lot because a lot of people can talk shit, but I haven't heard it, so must be doing all right. Yeah. Unless it's all behind me back. But here I am thinking I'm the man, and all the boys just talking bad shit out the back.
No, it's good. It's good.
Thanks, mate. It's fucking awesome to be able to do one back in person again. Like, for those who've been listening on the regular, you probably noticed the last 4 or 5 there were over Zoom, maybe even more. And that's just because being up in Townsville for the 9 months I was up there, didn't get to know too many boys too well, didn't know too many people up there, and had a lot of good mates that still wanted to get on, so Zoom's the only option, but not a bad option, but the quality's not as good.
Yeah. No, it's mad doing it in person. Like, I think the Zoom ones are sick, and like, you got to do what you got to do, but it's mad doing it in person. So
yeah. How'd you go, mate? Were you a bit nervous at the start?
Yeah, at the start I was bricking it, eh?
Takes a while to get used to it.
I feel like it's just having the mic in front of you, but then like after 5 minutes, you don't even recognise the mic.
Yeah.
Nah, it's sweet.
Nah, awesome. All right, mate. Well, we'll try and get this one out. I don't know, I might even be able to get the audio up on Spotify and like Apple Podcasts tonight, maybe. We'll see how we go. If not, should all be out tomorrow. I don't know about this video. New phone, so it's probably recording in like 4K, so it'll probably be like a 10 gigabyte video.
That's what I'm thinking.
We'll see. Anyway, thanks for coming on, mate.
We'll end it there. Me. Cheers, mate.
Cheers.